So hello friends, today we're going to take a look at this lens. It is a Nikkor 135mm f2.8 AI version, and then this is because of the blue 32 here. Okay, so I got this lens really battered from a friend who got it himself from I don't know where, but he paid something like 10 euros, was really cheap. But then the lens is in really ugly condition, and then as you can see, well, cosmetically it's rather battered, but this is unimportant. The optics are okay, there is no scratches, but there is a lot of dust here, as you can see, inside the lens, and then also the diaphragm is a bit dirty, so it is slow, and then the result of that is that my friend is not getting correct exposures on his pictures. So what we're going to do now is to open the lens. So, and then this is something important here that you should not do at home. So my friends got the lens, but the previous owner tried to fix the lens, well, at least to open it. He didn't manage, I think, because as you can see here, there is one screw head which is missing, and then this is, I had to drill it yesterday. I'm showing you a picture of the drilled screw head and then the remains of the head. So, and then this is probably because the previous owner tried to use the wrong screwdriver tips, which are supposed to be J. So I guess he was using something like Phillips or something like that, and then he damaged all the screw heads, and then this one was far beyond repair. Okay, so we use the appropriate screwdrivers, and then we're going to remove the bayonet. And then the last one, we drilled the head for the sole purpose of being able to remove the bayonet, which I get here. Okay, so this lens is also a bit complex to work on, because there is one trick that you have to take into consideration when opening the lens, is that this front element here, there is one ring here that should come out, which only allows to remove this hood, but then it will allow me to remove the optical assembly as well, just in a few seconds. And then to remove this part here, you will find one hole in the hood, and then what you do is just to pull it, and then you need to rotate until you reach, or you find the hole, which is actually on the other side. I'm showing you a picture, and then what I did wrong is that I lost the screw, so I don't actually need to find this hole anymore. I can just simply unscrew this part without trouble. I'm not going to remove it immediately. I will show to you just now why. And then here, what we need to do now is just to go and fetch these 3 screws there, which are on the bottom. That will allow me to remove the optical assembly. So to do so, I need a quite thin screwdriver.
And then I get the 3 screws loose.
Now I can remove the 3 screws. 2, 3. Okay. And then, if I had removed this front ring before, I will have the optical assembly which will be falling down. This is why I didn't remove it before. Now I can just unscrew this thing here. So it comes out. I can take out the hood here, and then I can can have the optical assembly which is coming. So here you have also to be careful that there is some glue that was used to fix the screws that we just removed. So sometimes the glue is quite hard, so you can probably drop a few drops of isopropyl alcohol to dissolve it, and then you can remove the optical assembly, as we're just doing here. And then here we get the body of the lens, which is quite in good condition. I mean, the helicoil is moving without trouble, so we're not going to work on this. We're going to concentrate in this, and then here we have quite some work to do because we want to clean the lens, and then we're going to disassemble the diaphragm as well. So first things first, so we're going to remove the optical parts of the assembly, and then here what you need to do, I did it before, so just to put a little of isopropyl alcohol in these regions here when you have the joint between the two parts. So, and then the point of doing that is just to soften any glue which might be there, and then you can descrew these things here. Sometimes it's really hard, so when I disassembled it the first time, I had to put rubber gloves like this, so to get a really good grip, and then be able to do this. And then with this we have reached the part which is really dirty, and then here we do the same thing on the back, and then we have removed the two elements of the optical assembly, and then as you can see here I just have the diaphragm which is free. Okay, now we can proceed to the cleaning, which is going to be extremely fast. That's it. All that nasty dust is gone. So this is for the cleaning. I say hi to my friend Pete, which sent me the lens. So this is the first thing, and now we're going to proceed to disassemble the diaphragm. And then here you will need a spanner key just to disassemble, to remove this ring here, which I actually tighten a bit. As I told you, I already disassembled the lens this morning, and then it was to understand how the lens is built, so I can show to you without getting into difficulties. So now I get this thing here. Here you go.
Proceed.
Okay, I got the ring out. So this is the first part. I don't see what is the point of this thing here, because in the construction doesn't seem to do anything. I guess it's just to stop a straight light, so for creating reflections into the lens. Otherwise I don't see other point on using this part. So just let me make myself a stand just to put the lens here, well, not the lens, this part of the diaphragm, and then here we have reached the diaphragm that we're going to remove now. It's quite a complex mechanical assembly here. So first thing we're going to do, that I did already, is to mark this position here this small lever here, so I put it green. Then we're going to mark the position of these screws here that I did already, and then we're going to remove this ring here, which is held by these screws that I just showed to you, that I'm going to remove just now. So, okay, we have the 3 screws gone, and then here, if I remember correctly, this part here holds the spring here that I'm going just to I think I got it loose. Okay, I'm just going to remove it like that. And then here we have this part which has the spring, and then this other mechanism which is for the aperture. Good thing it was that we marked it, so we'll know where to put it back. Now we have this thing here, and then you will find that there is 2 small screws here which are for moving this thing from the outside, as I am doing just now, and then this part connects here to this lever here, which goes obviously to this fork here, so we can move this from the outside using the camera. And then, oh, you see, they already got loose. So what we're going to do now is just to remove these small 2 screws here. And then we can take this part here out, and then I can take this ring out. So the indication to put it back would be the position of the 2 holes here that are to match with this opening here. So I don't worry too much about that. And then finally we reach this plate here that we need to remove, and which is a bit dirty, so we're going to clean that. And then we have the diaphragm leaves that we can start removing. But then I'm just going to be more efficient for that. I'm just going to push them out. And then here you go. We have disassembled the 135mm f2.8 AI version, and then now we're going to proceed with the cleaning. Now we shall proceed with the cleaning, and then the cleaning today is going to be concentrated around the diaphragm and then this block here, as we just saw that the optical part was very simple to clean, and as it was just some dust that we simply blew away. So I got this cup here that we're going to use to put some lighter fluid. Just let me show it to you the right way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop the diaphragm leaves here. And then this part as well. And then what we're going to do, which seems pretty obvious now, is we're going just to put a bit of lighter fluid here. and then we let it work for a while, and then while we wait, I will take this cotton swab I prepared beforehand, and then what I'm going to do is just to rub here with the swab, so we remove all traces of grease or whatever it was before here, so we don't risk recontaminating the diaphragm with whatever it was before. So there is also some white traces here, so we pass the swab to get rid of them. I'm just going to fast forward this. This part seems to me clean. Now go back to the diaphragm, and then there is one thing I forgot, and then it was to pick some toilet paper, so I'm just going to get that. So I picked the toilet paper that I forgot, and then what we're going to do now is just to pick the parts we put in the lighter fluid, and then we just simply dry them. The lighter fluid or the barbecue gas or just gasoline will do the job of dissolving all traces of grease and other stuff, so you simply need to dry it, and then the thing is going to be rather clean. And then this is what we have here, and then just for the cleaning, and as you saw, I use toilet paper, standard toilet paper. Okay, first thing, you see the ring, which was a bit dirty before, now it's rather clean. Now I'm just going to pick one of the blades. It's a bit greasy, just let me switch tweezers, and then here, first thing, I put it on the paper, and then I just rub the paper in, so I dry the fluid, and then now I have a rather clean aperture blade. And then what I'm going to do off the camera, not to annoy you, is to finish drying this stuff, and then we meet in a few seconds for the reassembly of the whole lens. So here I am back. I finished with clean all the aperture blades. Now we're going to proceed to start reassembling the lens, and then to do so we start by reassembling the diaphragm. And then one thing you need to be really careful about is the order in which you put the blades, and then as you might notice, what I'm doing now is just to put them counterclockwise, meaning I'm talking about my point of view. Obviously I start here and then I go this way around, install them. And then the last blade is always the tricky one, because we have to pass above the last one and below the first one. So let's hope I managed to do it at once. Here, just making the space, and then here I need to raise the first one, but then I took it out of the slot, which is not good for me. Just let me try to put it back without messing everything. Okay, that's it. It wasn't easy. Sometimes it works first shot, sometimes it does not. This time it wasn't one of those times it works at once. So now we're going to put this ring that, if you remember, we also clean it. And then my cue to put it is that I have this pin here in bronze, which is going to go into this opening here. And then once I have that, you might notice that the pins are supposed to go into these cams. I am almost in position, so what I usually do is just to push a bit and then try to wiggle until I get all the pins in position, which is the case, and then here I can make the diaphragm work, and then I can feel it already. The amount of force I need to move it is very, very low now. Okay, this is one thing. Now we need to put this part here, and then to do so I just need to find the opening here. Okay, when I say the opening, I'm talking about this opening here on the side to allow me to pass the part here, which is going to connect to the back here. So what I do now is try to match the opening here on the back. I made a picture of that so you can get a nice view of that, and then we can come and put the screws to hold that part. Check that I haven't done anything bad here, so this is okay. Now we can proceed to put in this ring here, and then this thing we mark it. My mark is here, and then it's going to be aligned with this element here. Then maybe I need to move this part here so I can keep putting the thing on, and then for some reason I'm having trouble with it. Come on, come on. Okay. Okay. This is it. This is the right position. I need to align this thing here with my mark. I'm not going to put the spring just yet, and then the reason is if that I put the spring to this part here. Just let me zoom maybe a bit. If I put the spring to this part here, everything is going to move, and then I will lose my alignment. So what I'm going to do is to first fix the part here, and then this is done by putting the screws.
That's one.
Okay, so I am fixed with that. So now I can take the spring and put it in position, and now I can see that everything is working just fine. And then the diaphragm has now a normal response, and then before, as you remember, it was quite slow. Okay, so this is it for the assembly of the diaphragm. Last thing we need to do is to put this ring here. Okay, I got it in position. Okay, and then I just tighten it with my fingers, because mechanically this thing is not doing anything. So I think it's just blocking light, as I told you before. So we have fixed the diaphragm. Now it's very clean and responsive as we wanted. Now we proceed to reassemble the optical parts. We blow again for a good measure. Screw this element here. Then the same thing on the back. We blow. Then we tighten just a bit. You can put glue again if you want, but I don't. In case I just have to come back to something into the lens. Here you have to pay attention when putting it back, because this lever moves almost 360 degrees, and then it has to be in this position. If you put it back into the body like this, it's not going to work. So in the position of pushing. So we're near finish of the assembly of the lens. So now we're going to put the optical part again into the body. Here we are a bit recessed, so what I'm going to do before is just to put the screws using a magnetic screwdriver, which is too thick to go in once I will put the optical assembly. So this is why I am putting the screws beforehand. Okay, so you're supposed to stay there. Okay. Then last screw. Then my cue to go in is that I have this screw here, which is an eccentric screw that will allow me to adjust the position of the aperture with respect to the body. And then I have also this pin here. No, it's actually this pin here. And that is going to go into this slot here. So, to make sure I am good, I go to the smallest aperture, which is 32. And then here I am totally closed. So, I'm sure I will be in position. And here I am quite okay. And then what I want to do now is just to put back the ring here for the time being. Well, I think we can put it with this the hood. I'm doing this because I want to hold the lens while I'm going to put the other screws on the other side so they don't move a lot, and then I can get in position. Okay, so this is it. I am not 100% aligned. No, I am kind of aligned. No, I just need to find the screw hole so they match with the screws, and then to do that I will play a bit on the eccentric screw I just told you before, which is this one there. Okay, I actually was not in position, I realize, so I can put a bit further this ring here, and then I might probably be able to put the screws in position. This is okay. I have one. I have two. And then the last one. Okay, so that's it, and then I want to make sure that the aperture is working, and meaning is opening entirely, because sometimes it remains slightly closed. And then to fix that, you just get these screws that we just tighten before a bit loose, and then you play a bit around with this eccentric screw, which is going to change the position of this, and then the screws are in slots so they can move a bit, and then you get the aperture right. Here in our case, since I did it before when I was testing the lens for the first time, I don't have to do it, but you know now. And then to finish the repair, what we have to do is with this fork, pick this small pin here, we slide it in, we make sure that the holes align, then we take our good screwdriver, I mean J. Remember that these screws here are not magnetic, which is a bit annoying. we don't over tighten them, since the screw heads are not in excellent condition, so we don't want to damage them further. And then here we are at the end of this repair. We have something very different to what we have initially. So lens is clean. I still need to clean a bit of this front element here. Let's just do it now. But here you go. We have service and put, but again in very good condition, a Nikkor 135mm f2.8 AI, and then now my friend Pete will be able to enjoy it for many years. This is all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.